Hello, it's Scott Allardyce, and occasionally I like to put videos on YouTube and Facebook in regards to some issues that I am concerned about. Many of my videos deal with disability rights in Canada, since obviously I'm a Canadian and a person with a disability. But I studied foreign affairs and military affairs at York University, and so occasionally I like to put videos on in relation to those issues. And in particularly, something that has caught my attention over the last couple of weeks has been this group ISIS, which is basically a Sunni Muslim group. We call it a terrorist group. I'm not going to use the term terrorist, because if you talk to them, they would consider themselves freedom fighters. And one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. And so anyway, this group has begun the process of trying to take over Iraq. And one of the things that they've done recently is they've, according to the UN and some media reports, have captured a chemical weapons plant run by the Iraqi government. And so one of my first questions is, why would a democracy, and Iraq supposedly a democracy, need or have a chemical weapons plant in the first place? Chemical weapons are the poor man's nuclear weapon, and they are dangerous, and they have been used by many regimes around the world, primarily against their own people. And it's a horrible way to treat another human being, by exposing them to gas or a weapon that actually attacks a person's central nervous system. I've seen the pictures of Kurds that have been attacked when Saddam used chemical weapons against his own people. And it was horrifying to see those pictures. I just want peace in the world, and I don't think I'm asking for more than what the majority of the world wants as well. We have an abundance of resources on this planet. We can live in peace with one another. We can have different religious views, different political views. And even though we might strongly disagree with another person's point of view on any number of topics, we can still find common ground. For instance, if you're very religious and you hold a particular view, you might not even be a Christian, but as a Christian, I would look at you and say that your religion and my religion of Christianity have one thing in common, one common denominator, and that is that all religions believe in a higher power. They believe in something after this world, other than just darkness. And so that's a commonality. We may disagree on what God or another entity might have in store for us, or what they believe is best for us, and we can have those kinds of discussions as well. But the commonality of any religion is faith and the hope that things will get better. When people kill one another in the name of God, are they really killing for God, or are they killing because they assume that's what God wants them to do? Or even still, are they killing and using God's name simply as an excuse to kill? It takes bravery to pick up a gun and defend what you believe, but it even takes greater bravery to sit down at a table with your enemy and try to work out a peace that is good for your people as well as theirs. I have a daughter, and I love her to death, and she is the center of my universe. I want her to grow up in a world where she doesn't know about war, where she doesn't see conflicts on the TV, where she's not exposed to violence, or prejudice, or intolerance. I want a world for my daughter which sees everyone as equal. Am I asking too much? No. Am I expecting too much? Probably. But in the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the commonality for all of our lives is to make our lives better for our children. And hopefully their children will have a better life than they did. And so on and so forth. And that is the gift of the human race. And we all, when all is said and done, human. And we all have a shared history of being human. I don't hate anybody. I try not to hate. As a Christian, it's my responsibility to accept people for who and what they are. I have strong opinions about politics and about religion. But I don't believe that I could ever ask somebody to forgo their own beliefs simply to adopt mine. The conflict in the Middle East is primarily a religious conflict. And that's unfortunate. Because I don't think God wants anyone to kill anybody in His name. And I could be wrong. When I go to heaven, God might say, Scott, I'm sorry you got it wrong. I want people to kill in my name. But the way I believe in God and how I accept Jesus into my life, I don't think that that's the message or the intention of any religion. If anybody's watching this video and they share support with the ideas of terrorism or the idea that, you're able to kill, I would just ask you to do one thing for me before you pick up a gun, is think about how your child would see you with that weapon in your hand. And if you would be willing, instead of picking up a gun, sit down at a table and work out an agreement with the people that you have grievances with, so that your child's future is brighter than your own. And perhaps you might find that the person sitting across from you is just as willing to negotiate a lasting peace with you, because they themselves have children as well and want a better life for their children. Anyway, that's my political speech for the day. I enjoy doing these videos. It means a lot to me to actually reach out to people. So if you see this video and you would like to either agree with me or disagree with me, feel free to do so. It is, after all, freedom of speech. And, we're all allowed our opinion. But I hope that the majority of people that see this video would agree with me on my general principles. And that is that no one has the right to kill in the name of God. Only God has the right to decide what's right and wrong. And I will wait for His judgment. I look forward to hearing your comments. God keep you and bless you. And I'm praying for the Middle East, for all people that live there, that they could find a way to peace. Because after all, peace is the most important thing. Thanks and have a good day. Bye-bye.